You understand the benefits of house hacking and you know you want to do it, but you're running into a little bit of a predicament because you have kids and you think it's not possible to house hack with a family. Well, guess what? I'm here to say my wife and I have been house hacking with 4 kids and 2 dogs for a very, very long time, and we want to let you know that it is possible and you can do it. And that's what we'll be talking about in today's video, how to house hack with a full family. Shawn McEnteer. I am the House Hacking Realtor of Northern New Jersey and the team leader of the Living in North Jersey real estate team. I'm getting phone calls, texts, emails every single day from people just like you that are looking to buy, move, and house hack in the Garden State. So whether you're looking to make that move in 6 days or 60 days, it doesn't make a difference. Reach out, let's have a conversation so we can get that move smooth and started for you. All right. It's a beautiful day today. I mean, it's the end of winter, spring is starting, and you know, you can't beat this. The kids are outside playing, they're up there somewhere, they're around the house, we're having a good time. But I wanted to hop on and take this outside today because you know, I want to make it a family experience. Let's just say that. Okay, let's get this show started a little bit here on house hacking. Plain and simple, a lot of this has to do with limiting beliefs. One of which is the fact that can you do it or can you not? Well, definitely I'm here to say you absolutely can house hack. And you know, for a long time, I kid you not, anytime I was calling a relative, they would ask, is it a new house or a new child? My kids were all born into different properties, which is cool. We've got 4 of them. So it's really fun. The very first house that we acquired was actually a single family. And I'll let you know that that property ended up working really well for us because it leveraged our house hacking skills because we were able to sell it, get some equity, move back in with my parents, then acquire that first house hack duplex the same week my second son was born. Then my daughter was born into a house hack, my 4th was born into a house hack, and it's been ever since an awesome story. Now we are currently living in the property behind us, which is a live-in fix and flip, which is an awesome renovation that we are taking on because we love buying those distressed properties and paying ourselves essentially to appreciate them and get the equity. So let's dive a little bit deeper into how you can house hack as a family. So the cool thing about this single family behind us is, you know, the first single family that we acquired, the only way we could afford that is by working. My wife would work 40 hours a week, I would work 40 hours a week. That was the only way, plain and simple. If you have another way of getting your single family paid for, good for you, but that's how it was working for my wife and I. This property, however, we get fully funded by our house hacks because we have tenants paying the bulk of the mortgages. We're cash flowing on those properties. It covers this entire mortgage and then some. So it's really cool living in a single family now, knowing that we don't necessarily pay it directly out of our income. Single families get paid for by working. So that's what gets a little bit upsetting with them. And that's what was my huge motivator, especially when my first son was born. I was like, how am I ever going to be able to get time with my kids, get freedom, get all that stuff, knowing that I must work every single week to afford the single family that we were living in? And that was a huge drive for us to ultimately sell that property and move back into my parents. But it's a consideration that, you know, might be going through your head. Maybe that is your drive right now. But now let's talk a little bit more about what you can do to house hack. House hack is one of the fastest ways to acquire properties cheap. So, you know, that's what the name of the game is with real estate investing, is owning properties, letting them appreciate, increasing the rents, all that kind of stuff. So the benefits that you get with house hacking, the low money down loans, the favorable loans, the ability to get the owner occupied loans, all that kind of stuff, it's second to none. Rather than paying 25% down for every property, you can pay as little as 5% down to acquire homes, which is super cool. So house hacking becomes extremely lucrative for that reason. Diving a little deeper on how you can house hack with a family, I know there's certain things out there, like how are you gonna do it? What are you gonna do? First things first, if you have young kids, they're not gonna remember half of this. You know, my youngest right now, he barely remembers house hacking. He just turned 5, but you know, when he was born into all these things, he kind of has memories of it, but he barely does. So it's not like he has friends. Our oldest doesn't really have any friends when we were house hacking. So it's not like we were taking them away, picking them up and going new friendships every single weekend or anything like that, or every single year. They were young, so it was just whoever friends and family that we would be associating with regardless of where we lived. They weren't necessarily the town friends. So I always know that's a huge concern. So if you have younger kids, this becomes very easier. Now look, if you have older kids, I'll be honest, that can be a little bit more of a predicament, but that's just a matter of, the pain of all this. It's like, do you want to possibly work the rest of your life for someone else, or maybe get some form of freedom? The good news about having older kids is they can really, really help in the process of house hacking. You get them on board, maybe make some agreements of, hey, if we house hack, we'll get that dream vacation every single year. Or, if you house hack and you're open to this and you're gonna sacrifice with us as a family, we'll get X, Y, Z. So there's a lot of good things you can do. And I kid you not, we were able to do a lot of that stuff with house hacking because we were able to have more freedom. Hey, really quick, make sure you stick around to the end on this one because there is a lot more to come, and make sure you click subscribe so you don't miss a beat on future videos when they're released about Northern New Jersey and house hacking. Really cool secret about house hacking with the family is, believe it or not, kids actually love this. Even at a young age, they were helping, maybe it was just sweeping the floor or doing all these little crazy tasks, but they were still part of the process. What was so great about it is I did a lot of the renovations myself. Wasn't a very handy person, but I knew that I could maybe save some money. Now, obviously, I outsource a lot of it, and I have teams in place and everything like that. But when I first started, because we didn't have that much funds, I kind of had to do a lot of the repairs myself. So what was crazy is I didn't have to go invest in a property that was maybe in the next town over, or maybe, the next county over. You have to drive 20, 30, 40 minutes away just to go to an investment property. I was literally able to say my commute home from working on my investment property was walking down the steps. And the reason I can say that is because I was renovating the upper unit. I was living in the investment property. So many things happen that compound with house hacking. So I'd come home, see the family, be able to have a good evening. Kids would go to sleep. I'd go upstairs and renovate or call it a day. So you can't really beat that. So really, what got us in on house hacking? Okay, plain and simple, it was the pain of not doing house hacking was greater than the pain of doing it. So of course there's some pain. You have to get up, you have to move, you have to buy a new property, go to a new town potentially, have a new house, have a new lifestyle. But what did we gain from all this? We reduced our monthly payments substantially. Our very first property, that single family, was costing us about $2,200 a month. My wife working 40 hours, me working 40 hours per week to pay for it. With our new house hack, the new multifamily, our tenants paid the bulk of the mortgage, and that's costing us around $600 a month. So the savings that we are getting every month was huge, which allowed us to go on more vacations, have some more fun. One of the most greatest memories I have with a family is going on a vacation when my boys were a little younger. My wife and I just got up, went to Florida, had an amazing time. We would not have been able to afford that had we been in our single family. So that was really cool. Knowing that you're going to be tenants paying the bulk of the mortgage, I'm like, why would I ever not want that? So when you have the pain of doing something greater than the pain of not doing it, you'll find a way mentally to get it done. More income is awesome. More time with the family. Investing in real estate was a must for us. Okay, so once again, going back to where you want to invest, the next town over, the next county over, doesn't make a difference because my home is also my investment property. So I could see my kids substantially more. And then obviously, because we had the reduced income or reduced expenses and everything like that, a greater income because our tenants were paying the bulk of the mortgage, that allowed us to maybe not work as much or start considering moving away from full-time jobs or W-2 income, which now today we are completely free. We don't have to rely on those external factors. We controlled it, which was huge. That was a major pain point, knowing that we had something that we could go after that was fully in our control was a major motivating factor in all this. There's still probably a lot going through your head right now. So if there is a concern or a limiting belief that you might have around house hacking with the family, why don't you drop it in the comments below and I'll make sure to answer it for you. Till To learn a little bit more about the benefits of house hacking, I do have videos on that. I'm going to put that in the description below as well, so you can see the unfair advantage of house hacking in northern New Jersey. Something that I run into all the time is you don't want to live next to your tenants. You don't want to live in the same property as your tenants. Well, I'll let you know that house hacking is not much different than living in a condo complex, apartment complex, or in northern New Jersey, where we're kind of on top of one another as is in most cases. So what does it look like to live in a house hack? Well, at the end of the day, if you live in that condo, that apartment complex, or you have close neighbors, you don't get to pick your neighbors in all those circumstances. With house hacking, you get to pick who lives with you, which makes this very desirable, because at the end of the day, you're going to vet those tenants, you're going to find ones that are suitable for you, you're going to make sure that it works well, especially with the owner-occupied laws in New Jersey. So it's really, really beneficial. That just imagine being able to move into a condo complex and you get to pick all of your neighbors. It's never going to happen. But with house hacking, you get that ability. You like to host and you're kind of scared, are you gonna be able to have friends over, you're gonna be able to do all that kind of stuff? Absolutely, you still can, by all means. Just because you're living in a multifamily doesn't mean people don't want to hang out with you, people don't want to see, people are actually gonna be a little more interested to see what's going on, because they're gonna be intrigued by your journey, believe it or not. But I'll let you know, a really cool story is my son's very first birthday, we actually had the party in the upper unit while we were living in the lower unit, because we were finishing up the renovations. So we said, hey, let's just have a party throughout the entire property and to celebrate his 1-year birthday. A concern that I'll run into pretty frequently is, how do you actually move property to property? Well, I'll let you know there are very easy and systematic ways of doing that. One of the ways that we've always found across the years was getting a pod storage unit. That made moving super easy. They'll actually come to your house, drop the pod off. You can load up furniture, whatever it is, tools, whatever you're bringing to your next property, and then you get to unload what you need. It actually ended up being a really efficient way for us, because we found out that we actually kind of had a lot of junk, to be honest. So we didn't offload everything from the pod, but we kept in what we didn't need while we would take out what we did need. So it actually kind of saved some space for us. But pods make moving and being nomadic and mobile very easy, and that is a great solution for moving your family property to property, or house hack to house hack. Look, how we would be able to have what we have today if we didn't house hack, you know, maybe you could go start your own business, do all that kind of stuff. There's nothing wrong with that. Obviously, new businesses, they do have kind of a scary success rate, but something that is true and clear in the world is investing in real estate. It doesn't matter what the area is, what the decade is, what's happening in the market. Real estate is consistently one of the safest forms of investing. Getting good at it is not so hard when you're around the right people, and having a high success level with investing in multifamilies is super achievable in northern New Jersey if you implement some of the systems that we're talking about in some of my other videos. But look, having what we have today, I don't know what other way we could have done it in such a short period of time if it wasn't for house hacking, without sacrificing a major amount of our lives, whether it's dedicating, 80 hours a week to running a business or 100 hours a week to running a business. We wanted freedom, and we got the freedom that we were looking for because we leveraged assets like multifamily investments by house hacking, having tenants pay the bulk of the mortgage, now letting those natural form of appreciation, rent increases, all that stuff compounding over time to fund the home that we live in today, in the lifestyle that we want to live. Fast forwarding to today, where we have our assets in place, I kid you not, we are in the millions in terms of equity. We have substantially high cash flow. Like I said, enough to pay for that home behind me, which is so cool. And then what we have gained, the experiences, the memories of our kids moving property to property. I'm not joking with you when I say this. My kids still love driving past the homes. They say, oh, is that property? Was that this property? I remember when we were there. We still look at the videos. We still have all that. And it was just such a fun time. You can do it. You can house hack. So if you want to accelerate your real estate investing and you want to fast track this thing, house hacking tends to be one of the best ways to go about it. Reach out. I'm always here to help, so you can learn a little bit more about house hacking and what it takes to invest in real estate with your family in northern New Jersey. I'm here to help.